Welcome to Front Row. Top news in the Virgin Islands is told only by JTV on this edition. VI youths speak up on matters of concern to them. Is government open to removing entrance fees for Festival Village? Saving for rainy days to save the day for Parks and Power. And what's up for Festival 2023? Details when we return.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Stake. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of Steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.
Now for the news in details. Meet Kyra James Douglas.
Hey everyone, my name is Kyra, founder of Kicking It.
Kyra is very popular among VI youths her age, as she, over the past 7 years, has been keeping them very engaged, especially on social media, via her Kicking It with Kyra interactive sessions, and she has taken things a different level as part of her 7th year anniversary.
Tonight we hosted the 3rd event of our anniversary celebrations. We've been around for 7 years. And it was very special. When I ideated this event, I just wanted to create a space where multiple generations would come together to have important conversations. And we did just that. So the theme for our anniversary is The Future is Now. And one side of it is exploring technological advancements, but also societal changes, right? Like, I remember being in primary school at General Assembly, and they would tell us, you guys are the future leaders, and the future is now. Like, my age range, where the people old enough and competent enough to have these important conversations. So I really wanted to create a space that would show you know, all the important topics we could explore and the things that could bring to the table. And I'm excited for us to collaborate with people in power to actionize and to mobilize all of these interests and passions.
They gathered and chatted with, individually and in group sessions, political and community leaders, also key stakeholders of various sectors in the territory, both private and public. They spent some hours sharing on what's on their mind. Here are some extracts.
The first thing we talked about is religion and how religion can cause intergenerational trauma. As children growing up, most of us don't have the choice whether or not we want to go to church, how we choose to be spiritual, if we even like to pray. But we are forced into this thing of, you better pray, you better love God, fear God. It's not that religion is a bad thing. However, we believe that persons should have that choice to explore and make that choice for themselves.
So we all know the issue with the Packwood Pond incinerator and the effects it have on St. John and District 1 representatives in terms of making them sick. Some of the points we have is making it mandatory to recycle in the BVI rather than having it kind of haphazard right now. I know there was some talk on having plastic bans. It's just for us to actually set that in place so that we could actually see changes. We also talked about implementing recycling in schools because we can learn from students. We talked about regulating plastics, so reducing styrofoam, having more biodegradable plastics. I know we all hate the paper straws, but that's the best thing for us to do right now.
I might shake some tables here. You spoke about thrifting. One of the things when we talk about sustainability under clothing. Anybody here shop at Shein? Yeah, that's fast fashion. Fast fashion affects the environment. So, if you want to be more sustainable, you gotta stop shopping at Shein.
These are conversations that they frequently have among themselves as youths.
We have these conversations all the time on platforms like Twitter, so I wasn't quite surprised because I've heard us say them before, but I was really grateful that they would be said in a room where people who have never heard them before could see that we're having these conversations, are passionate about these things. And it was important for me to make sure we angle the conversation in how we could not just complain about the issues, but present solutions and work alongside people in positions of power to address them.
Now we will share more of The Future Is Now on a subsequent date. The ears of government of the day are not closed to the call for Festival Village activities to be free to patrons.
Well, I know we have several free events, if I'm correct, chairman of the Festival and Fairs, but to have it entirely free, this is what I'll say. If the public wants it entirely free, we'll have to put more money into it because, of course, some of the money that's charged helps to offset costs. And that's a discussion that we can have with the public if they want us to invest more money in the festival. Of course, we know that the United States Virgin Islands Festival is completely free. A lot of persons compare us to that, of course. They have a bigger economy than we do. They make more money than we do. But of course, it is something that is possible if we invest more money. And of course, $500,000 doesn't represent the true cost of our Emancipation Festival and the events that we have grown accustomed to. So it's either we scale down the events to the money that we have, or we increase the amount of money. But we can't keep the events where they are and provide $500,000 and then decide that it's going to be free or to be at that particular scale.
Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, took that position while responding to questions at his June 2, 2023 press conference. He also alluded to the fact that there is a possibility that the government can allocate more to the BVI Festival and Fairs Committee, increasing government's allocation from $500,000.
I believe I have to double check and see how much we provided. It may be the same that we did last year. I think perhaps maybe $500,000. But there's a possibility we'll increase that given the fact that that may not be enough to do all the activities that we want to do.
Festival activities are set for July 8th through August 11, 2023, and while the dates are out, persons are eagerly awaiting the release of artists per event. In the audience and given the opportunity to speak was chairman of the BVI Festival and Affairs Committee, who is also the events coordinator for the BVI Tourist Board and the Film Commission, Dirk Walters.
So the planning has been going very well thus far. We actually started planning, doing our strategic analysis and planning from many, many months ago, as late as late last year. So the conversations have been going very well. We've been engaging a lot of different performers, artists, seeing how we can actually enhance the whole festival product and get it out there as early as possible. Persons may have realized that we actually put out a save the date from since last year and then put it out again early this year, as well as the schedule of events, which, as I mentioned earlier, actually encompasses when festival starts, the main activities, including the pageants and all of these things, so person can actually start planning. So right now, we're just going to, very soon, within a couple of days, start releasing the specific artists that are going to be performing in the festival. And we've been in contact with sponsors, potential sponsors, industry partners, to see how we can all work together, including the media, to enhance it.
On the other hand, government says it will be investing in artists resident in the Virgin Islands a sum of $50,000. Artist Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, says has a lot of promise.
We have artists in the Virgin Islands who have a great deal of promise, great deal of talent, and I wanted to help to support these artists to take their artistry to the next level. It could be that artists need to be able to facilitate partnerships with international recording artists to do a recording in the studio. It could be something else. It could be a contribution towards an event that an artist is taking place that will help to promote that artist both regionally and internationally. It could be a number of other things that could be done to help these artists perhaps with their marketing and their promotion.
However, according to Premier Wheatley, the BVI Festival and Fairs Committee is to determine how that money will be distributed, to whom and for what.
But that's something that I'm going to lead to the Festival and Fairs to be able to determine what's the best use of the money for a particular artist. But the ultimate goal is to be able to have our artists raise their level, to be able to be more successful as artists, to gain greater visibility, to have better quality sound, better quality, songs that hopefully will make international airwaves and help to promote them as an artist. And one thing that will do for us as well, that will help to promote us as a destination and as a jurisdiction. They'll continue to be, because they're already ambassadors for the BVI. They'll be even better ambassadors for the BVI as a result of the investment that their government is putting into them.
No timeline was released as to when this initiative will take effect. Over the years, the resilience of the Virgin Islands, like many other countries, was put to the test by Mother Nature and others which the sources are factors of debate to date. The likes of the natural disasters of 2017 and then the COVID-19 pandemic, which hit hardest from 2019. Many withstood the test. Parts and Power stands as a true testimony. As a result, they stayed alive to 50 years of operations.
2017 was a hard year. We got hit first with 2 floods, totally washed out. It was really heartbreaking because after you clean all that muck and sludge off the floor, maybe about a week or 2 after, it happened again. At one point I questioned, should I stay here? All this stress, you're shoveling muck. I'm sure a lot of staff will remember that we shoveling muck from in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock till 6, 7 o'clock in the night. It could really be heartbreaking. There's not much water. You're trying to wash down the place with buckets. So that was a challenge. And then Hurricane Irma came, and that really devastated the BVI. It really hit us as a business. But I must say, our staff was very resilient. They came out. The next day, I had texts up by the house they're willing to support. What do you want from us? What we need to do? We fix generators. They will need generators. And I think our staff, our team did a very good job in helping to get backup power back as quickly as possible to all our customers. We added on a lot of new clients at that time. I think the team was able to show the resilience and the abilities there in 2017. In 2020, we moved into this building. And guess what happened in 2020? We were in the middle of COVID. So we moved into this beautiful building that Mr. Skelton has provided for us in the middle of COVID. And you know, that really hurt us. It didn't hurt us in moving this. Thank you so much for the building. It's a beautiful building. It's an excellent building. So I'm not critiquing the building, but the timing was just bad. You know, it was bad at all that additional renovation costs. And I can tell you, for 2 years, Parts and Power we really felt it. We really felt it as a business. And I must say that if Tom and Barbara wasn't skilled in making sure and saving for the rainy day, I wouldn't be here to speak today. We wouldn't have survived 2019, 2020 to 2021 definitely. So it has not been a bed of roses.
It certainly was not as smooth as sailing, as explained there by Parts and Power Gavin Dooley. Nonetheless, they continued to have continued growth.
So we started in 1973. Interesting year, 50 years ago. And we started off with the first brand, Perkins. It's an industrial product that builds basically industrial engines, and back then they were marine engines. And we were a distributor for the Leeward Islands. And then in 1990, we merged with 2 other companies, Coral Bay Marine in St. John and Power Products in St. Thomas. So this company that is here actually is 3 companies that came together. A company in St. John and a company in St. Thomas that came across here and became one company in 1990. So if you didn't know, now you know. With that came across Northern Lights, which we are now distributors for the entire Eastern Caribbean. So our territory starts from the Virgin Islands and runs all the way south to Trinidad and across to the ABC Island, every single island in that belt. We also extended our Perkins area of territory, and we also got Yanmar Marine engines at that time. In 1997, we became a dealer for Cutler Hammer, which is now Eaton, and we have Eaton here today. In 1998, we extended our Northern Lights distributorship further down. And in 2003, we extended the Eaton product further down. So I'm just going through it in years by order. In 2004, we moved from TYS, Tortola Yacht Services. If anyone does not know where that is across by the moorings. We were there from 1990 to 2004, and then we relocated to Port Purcell first. So if some of you all might remember, we were in Port Purcell. That's when we moved to Port Purcell back in 2004. In 2005, we extended more Perkins territory. In 2008, we became Dometic distributors. So we added on some of the Dometic, which is some diversification into refrigeration and into air conditioning for boats. In 2014, we became a Kubota distributor, and our Kubota territory actually stretches from here to Barbados. It doesn't go down into Trinidad, but it's still a relatively large area that we cover for Kubota. In 2016, JCB added on more territory for us. So JCB is an equipment manufacturer. When it comes to backhoe loaders, they invented the backhoe loader. If you ever heard of a backhoe loader, Mr. Bamford invented that. That was his invention. The loader telehandler, he also invented that. They are #1 in the world for backhoe loaders, and they are #1 in the world for telehandlers. And they are the top, maybe 3 or top 4 equipment manufacturers in the world. And we extended their territory down to Antigua, across the St. Martin, and to the USVI, and St. Kitts. So that's the territory we do for JCB. In 2016, we became a Volvo dealer, Volvo Penta dealer for the BVI only. And then in 2017 we got it, so I came here in 2016 when we became the dealer for Volvo. In 2021, Perkins has basically extended out the balance of, well, what is now Trinidad and the ABC Islands, our territory. So it has been continuous growth.
May 26, 2023, Parts and Power turned 50 years. Stating emphatically that the Virgin Islands is not broke, Premier Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley defends investing in social activities.
No, we're not broke. We're not broke. But if we want to build the country, Kathy, You have to spend money to make money. So all of this that we're doing is in an effort to build our economy and to build our tourism industry.
Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Whitley, was at the time justifying investing some $250,000 for a celebratory activity for his government's accomplishment of bringing non-stop flights into the territory.
Well, these events are expensive, you know, and Kathy, if you want to make money, you have to spend money. If you want to be in the tourism business, I think later this month you're going to have St. Kitts Music Festival, and you'll have a bunch of people from the BVI go there. But those festivals are not cheap. You know, they cost money, and if you want to be in the game, Kathy, you have to spend the money. And if persons are concerned about a little $250K, just wait until I really get going, Kathy, because I want to make the Virgin Islands a true destination for persons coming on that same Miami flight to the Virgin Islands. I want to have big artists, you know, artists internationally, regionally, and locally, and that can have events that will attract persons from certainly United States, Virgin Islands, and across the Caribbean.
This was at the June 2, 2023 press conference when Premier Whitley announced the BVI Tourist Board's non-stop concert set for June 30, 2023. He was supported by events coordinator for the BVI Tourist Board and Film Commission, Dirk Walters.
So there were several factors, of course, that went into determining the performing artists for this, including availability, costs, and whatnot. And of course, as the Honorable Premier mentioned, this is a totally free concert. General admission will be free. So we expect a large influx of persons coming in. We invite persons from all around the world, including the region, locally, and next door in the USVI to come and participate in this event. And it is going to be the start of major projects and initiatives to come from the BVI Tourist Board. And it shows the government's commitment to enhancing tourism to the country. So we have these artists. We wanted to cover a broad spectrum of different genres of music, of course, and of course deal with, like I said, the availability of the artists within this time. Some artists are already on tour and things like that. So I do think that we've put together a nice array of artists for this event. Thank you. Okay, so repeating the name of the artists are Conscience from Jamaica, and we also have Rock City, we have Vibe, and we have Monet. We also have Kamau Georges, Jeremy Vanterpool, and a host of other artists and DJs that will be announced forthcoming. We're looking at the evening. Gates will be open from 6 p.m. and the whole theme is non-stop. So we will start from 6 p.m. until. And also, in addition to the outdoor, the stage show, the concert, when we leave from there, we're going to be having some events at indoor venues at various locations to carry on the whole theme of the non-stop, which will also be live streamed from those venues as well. All of this will be announced shortly.
That has brought us to the end of this edition of Front Row, Top News in the Virgin Islands. Remember, you can also follow us on all of our social media platforms, including our newly launched and very active website, JahphixTelevision.com. I'm Kathy Richards. Thank you so much for joining us.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Steak. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.